Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Okay. They're very cold. Okay.
Okay. So, uh, well, it is the coldest day, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Cold. Okay.
what's it like in home? Oh, it's not bad in my hometown. It's only minus like 5. Okay. Anyways, I found a weird article. I thought was a bit silly, which is the federal government increases her disability payment, so she gets more money from the like Trudeau, the big government, but then her province, Nova Scotia, reduces it by the same amount. So she gets like an increase of 100 and then a decrease of 100. So nothing changed, and she's like, what? This this means nothing to me then. But let's find out.
When JD good God received a cost of the living increase to her Canada patient pen disability payment earlier this year. She left faith said of the relief, but it didn't last long.
Yeah. So basically, for the Canadian pension plan, meaning the big government, right, Trudeau and Pauvier and stuff, um, the disability payment went up. So she was like, "Ooh, great! My cost of living's been going up, so I need a bit more money. So that's a good thing." However,
The increase of the $66 per month was then titles cut from the provincial disability supplement living her right where she stand.
um, so essentially, just saying that she got $66 per month on the federal government, right, the big government. Uh, However, it then was deducted, gone down. Remember, we learned deducted yesterday uh, from her provincial one. So she gained $66, but then lost $66. So then she's back to normal. So, yeah, not the best.
It's kind of like what uh, going going on said God for 47 you never get above the amount you stand with is standing is standing.
Essentially. Yeah. So she's like, what's going on? You gave me more money, but then you took money away from me. Like, what's the point? Like, what are you doing? Like, you might as well not have done that. Just done nothing, and it would be the same. Uh, she's also 47 years old. That's what that means. Um, and so she's like, you start with this amount of money, and it never really changes because the government doesn't really want to do that. Whether it's the provincial government or the federal government, they don't really want to give you more. They just keep you at the same spot.
Good. Who is the uh, good?
Who is autistic?
Who is the ethical and has the
Autistic. Autistic.
artistic and has a physical disability receives support I was for ideal in provincial government programs toppling just over 2,000 monthly.
Yeah, so she gets $2,000 a month, and that's not a huge amount of money, uh, especially if like she doesn't have a job, right? If she's has a disability and autistic and can't really work, all she has is 2,000. So she's paying rent, blah blah blah. This could be very difficult for her.
See, ladies, see, on her family to help her buy food and pay for things like the translation, medication, and ther-
Physical
therapy.
therapy. Uh, so again, she has to rely on her family now because the government's not giving her enough for food, transportation, medication, physical therapy, everything. She has to kind of focus on family now because, again, $2,000 maybe just her house. Like that could just pay for her living expense and her electricity, her heating. Like it could just be the very basic stuff she gets from the government. Um, this is just saying that no income assistance in Nova Scotia budget is a human rights violation. Someone says that's a bit extreme. If the government doesn't have the money, then how can it give you the money? But yeah, they're saying it's really, really bad. And this is just saying that this is a watershed moment for Nova Scotia, saying this could be very difficult for a lot of people with disabilities.
According to the Claire McConnelly, a staff lawyer with the whole the house now, I service
Nova Scotia.
no soccer
Scotia.
please
Scotia.
go
It's
shop.
not English. Remember, this is French, so Nova Scotia.
Policy of the not put setting advocating cost of living increases has been around since the 1990 and is keeping many people with the disabilities in deep poverty. Poverty.
Poverty, meaning being poor, right? So, according to some lawyers in Nova Scotia, that the policy that they've had since 1990s has not been enough and has not really increased to help these people. So maybe it helped them back in 1990. 2,000 bucks 1990 was probably really really good back then, right? So they probably were doing fine. But 30 years later, $2,000 is definitely not enough. So they're basically saying that there's been no increases, so these people are becoming they started good and now they're getting poorer and poorer and poorer and poorer, and this is not getting good.
Really, what we're talking about is the physical subsistence, said Michael, who has represented the disability rights quotation. This not uh, usually this not failures. This is like the ability to pay for the food and learn that you need to stay alive. So people are
Forced
vested into petty the despite the career system.
circumstances. So yeah, essentially, uh, we're really just talking about the basics of the basics that this thing will pay for. Uh, so this is only going to get you food and rent, just enough to stay alive. It's not going to get you some good food. It's not going to get you luxury stuff like you're getting canned food. Uh, you're drinking tap water. You're not getting like a really good system. No luxury here. Not very good.
CPP in Korea assist each the generally uh, according to the um, according to the federal government the GPP CPP. This bill patient includes a flat rate an amount based on resident capacity to plan.
Yeah. So CPP is Canadian Pension Plan. So based on the amount of money you gave to the government through your life of work, that's how much flat amount you get back. So let's say you paid Canada 300,000 in taxes towards this thing, you will get X amount back. But if you only did 100,000, you'd get a third of that money. If you did $1 million, you'd get whatever back. So it changes depending on how much you gave to Canada.
The air code for the money raised in the eh? Cost
Like
of
to account for the cost of living.
to code to accord for any risk in the cost of living. CPP being fed amounts are in register each
Increased.
increase
Increased.
increased each January to ensure that the purchasing power is the maintained are measured by the consumer price in these spoken. Okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah. Just finish it. Let's go. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, this is basically just saying um, Canada still understands that, like, if you gave a certain amount of money to Canada, like throughout your years of taxes, that giving you a flat rate back would be very bad because eventually, if I gave you, like, let's say I gave you $1,000 a month back, which when you first get it at 60 or 65 would be amazing, but as the years go on, that $1,000 becomes worthless. So, to try to make sure this is not a problem, each January they add a percentage to it, whatever the consumer price index is, CPI. So let's say that this year's CPI is 3%. You'll get a 3% on your CPP. Or let's say it's 6%. Okay, you'll get a 6%. So that's kind of how they make sure that you don't lose money throughout the years.
Maycola, Maycola,
McNeil.
made meal.
Remember, MC means Mick. Remember McDonald's?
Made meal said cost of living increases are provided at the Fed, federal level and in some the provinces and the
Territories.
territories like Quebec, New Britain, Sweden, and the Young, Young,
Yukon.
Yukon, Yukon. But Nova Scotia is one of my
Nova Scotia. Scotia.
Scotia's money don't the provider this the population.
Yeah. So again, the federal government, like the big government, will help protect everyone. And then in some provinces or territories, they also help you. So again, Quebec, New Brunswick, Yukon, they'll make sure that you help you for cost of living increases. So uh, what they're basically saying is like what we said before. Oh, 3% increase. Okay, let's increase on January, 3%. Oh, 6%. Okay, let's increase by 6%. However, in Nova Scotia, they just give you a flat number and it never changes unless they make a law to change it. So that could be like, oh, you get $2,000, awesome. But the next 10 years, you get $2,000, and then finally they raise it. That could be not so good. So, yeah, not the best. And this is just saying the premier, the leader of Nova Scotia, is apologizing, like, so sorry, people with disabilities. Didn't mean to do this. Yeah.
For people on the income assistance of the disability support program, this means an any financial cost of living in raise is the considered augmented income and personal payments are
Increased.
decreased.
Basically saying they have a law or a system set up that uh, augmented income means extra income that would put you over the benefit level. So basically saying if you're, let's say we give you $2,000 a month and you start working and you make $5,000 a month. Well, then why are we giving you $2,000? Let's just get rid of that. You have 5,000 now. You're doing fine. But this is where it gets a bit weird is any money above a certain amount is called augmented income. So basically, if the federal government gives you $66, that counts, and then they'll just get rid of $66. So then you stay at that 2,000 and you never go above that 2,000, which could be very bad. But yeah.
What the financial government gives you with one hand, the province take away with the another. Mexicola said.
Yeah, basically they're just saying like Trudeau's like, here you go, and the Nova Scotia's like, actually, I'll take that. So they're not actually giving it to you. Nova Scotia takes it away from you. You're like, oh, thanks, awesome. Yeah,
Good mother, son, good said the separating her daughter means a tier budget for herself.
so this is her mom. So look, like she's old, right? Like this is Susan. Uh, so she's also probably not working anymore, right? So Susan now has to help her with money And so she's probably only making like $3,000 a month, and she's making $2,000 a month. And unless they're living together and stuff, that's not going to be enough for the whole family, meaning the budget's going to be really small. Like, ooh, maybe we only can get the cheapest stuff possible to survive, right?
She said if the 30 teenage have the family, she doesn't know where she would be.
Yeah, she's like, if I didn't have my mom or my cousins, my uncles, my aunts, blah, 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 I don't know where I would be. Would I be homeless? Would I uh, be in a shelter? Would I like what would happen to me if I didn't have my mom helping me or someone else helping me?
I was always the terrified that the children would become the homeless. She said, I tried to drink of it. I really do because she would have the child
Trouble.
trouble with her lunch. She'd have the trouble with her food, and those are two of the basic necessities
Necessities.
necessities of life.
Yeah. So this is her mom talking now. So she's terrified. Like again, you saw her in the picture. She's quite old. Susan might be like 70 or 80 or whatever. Uh, if she passes away or something, what's going to happen to her daughter who's 47? Like, is she going to become homeless? Uh, we're both of them are already struggling for rent and food, which are just the basics, right? Having a house and food, that's it. Not even getting fun stuff like internet, not even fun stuff like a phone, etc. We're talking about the absolute basics, and that's very scary for them. And this is just saying that apparently a lot of Nova Scotian people are waiting for payments because there's been a demand surge, like everyone's applying for it. So that's not so good. And then this is just a question like, how much has food prices, grocery prices, gone up compared to other provinces? Like, is Nova Scotia doing okay with food, or is it worse? Where does Nova Scotia fall? Yeah.
Treaty said the provincial and federal parliament don't allow uh, disability people to get ahead and put them in a
Precarious,
precarious uh, persistent.
precarious position. Precarious means like a difficult thing. So like a difficult position. So essentially, this like why do we give money to poor people or give money to someone to help them? Generally, the big reason is if we give you money to get you back on your feet, like, oh, you lost your job or you got disabled and you can't work right now, and we'll give you a bit of money now so that in the future you can get back to work and stuff and help the country again, right? Well, basically, what they're saying is they're giving so little money that the province, or sorry, that these people, these disabled people, can't get back to work. They're so poor now that like the only thing they can think about is when am I going to get my next food? Am I going to get enough money for rent? What am I going to do? And so it ends up keeping them poor, and then they become useless, right? They're taking money, number one, and number two, they can't work anymore because we're not giving them enough to help them. So, yeah, it's not a good position. Pretty bad.
We talk a lot in this department about homelessness, where some of your homeless are coming from.
Yeah, basically just saying like in this province, we're really worried about the homeless people. because Nova Scotia is on the ocean, right? Um, Meaning there's a lot of snow. It's very cold. Um, like all the homeless people could easily die, or it could be very expensive to help them compared to like Quebec or Ontario. Um, and so if you're going to complain all the time about, oh, we have this many homeless problem, blah, 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 well, where do you think it's coming from? If these poor people are so poor they can't afford rent or get food or whatever, what do you think is going to happen to them? They're going to go onto the street and become homeless. So yeah, it's a bit silly what they're doing. And the province says there's more to do. We need more help, right? We have to help more.
A spokesperson from the Department of the Community Service said she could not. This talks good case both explain anyone eli- eligible
That's
for
eligible.
eligible for income assistance of the disability support program must meet criteria.
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 Basically, when it comes to the government here, the Department of Community Services, um, they're really not allowed to talk about specific people, right? Like this is a government; they're not allowed to. Oh yeah, like Goldie, I don't like her. Blah blah blah. No, no, no. You gotta be like, oh, we can't talk about it. I'm so sorry. It's private. Blah blah blah. Um, all they can really say is, as long as you are eligible, you meet all of the requirements. You got this, 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 and this. We'll give you money. But if you're missing one of these things, we won't give you money. That's all they can say.
This includes financial assessment in which most federal payments are considered income.
So again, um, one of the requirements is showing that you're not making money, right? Oh, I'm only making $500 a month. Okay, so that's okay. We'll give you the extra or whatever. The problem that generally happens though is they consider any government help from the federal government income. So let's say you get $500 from an online job or something, like you work from home. Um, so they'll just be like, okay, we'll still give you 2,000, but now you get some help from the government. Now they say your income's $1,000, so they're like, okay, we'll only give you $1,000 now. And so you're no matter what you get from the federal government, it does not help you in this province.
Income does the subtract from the amount someone can receive from the DCS program. Spokesperson the questioner write an email.
Yeah, basically just saying like any extra income you make, like $60, $100, blah blah blah, that will just be taken away from your $2,000. So let's say you make an extra $100 this month. Okay, you're gonna get 1,900. Let's say you make an extra $5. Now you're getting 1,995. Right? It just slowly goes away. Oh, I think we switched now.